Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the new Let's Play. Not really voted on by Patreon or YouTube members, because I don't have anyone at the top level. So I got to choose of the four. So we're going to play the first game, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, and maybe, depending on how people think of this, we'll come back to the other games of the trilogy. I have seen a case from a game, one of the Phoenix Wright games. I don't know which one. It was the first case of one of them. So I know this is more of a puzzle game, and it's going to annoy me if I think of it as actually being a legal case, because there's no presumption of innocence. In fact, there's a presumption of guilt, and you have to actually prove someone else is guilty. Or at least it was in that case. I don't know if that's the case more widely. So I have to think of this purely as a puzzle game. Otherwise, I will get very annoyed about legal systems and judiciaries. Let's begin. So I have to choose. Okay, so we're gonna go with the first one, Ace Attorney. Let's go. Episode 1, the first turnabout. Play the first turnabout. Yes, I don't know what's going on. Did I just get an achievement for starting a game? Great. Is that someone? Oh, wow. Damn it. Why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. Oh, is this basically Columbo? And I've got to prove who it was. 3rd of August, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Boy, am I nervous. Right. Oh, hiya, Chief. Phew! I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like, yeah, that's bold. Okay. It says a lot about you, and your client as well, that you're an idiot. Thanks? Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Huh? Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, that's him. Death! Despair! Oh! I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. Sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick! Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished! I can't live in a world without it. Oh, dear. I can't. Who took her away Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright, or Nick, somehow. Phoenix Wright? I don't know. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. I assume that's meant to be funny. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one, which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm going to do. Because there's a video game and I can keep trying. 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 2. court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The, defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh my... You don't even know that you're the defense. This is going well. Ahem. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Oh dear. My hands are shaking. Eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. That is Larry Butts. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Was that the extent of the test? Oh, next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Phew, I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. Okay, so Cindy is all I've got. Cindy Stone. Okay, so we can look this way. The victim in this case, a model she lived in her apartment. Cindy Stone. It's... Wait. Uh-oh. No way. I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? No, clearly not. You don't even know the victim's name, so I've just looked it up. Oh, the victim. Oh, of course I know the victim's name. I, just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court. Sorry, I'm I'm jumping ahead. I assumed that's where it would be. Just press tab to check it at any time, okay? Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case? That was Cindy Stone. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was, well, hit with a blunt object from the cutscene, but let's have a look at loss of blood due to blunt trauma. Do we have any more details? No. So blunt trauma would be blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. I can see many. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then. First, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor? As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was the statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. Statue added to the court record. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use tab to check the court record frequently. Okay, you're telling me to do that. Alright, let's have a look. Can I interact with this in some way? Oh, I can use my cursor as well. No, so I can't do anything with that, right? Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. Prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. He's going to, isn't he? Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Ahem. Mr. Butts, is it not true the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Okay, yeah. This is a murder trial. Let's not pick people who died because of that relationship. Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me. Ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies! All of it lies! I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Passport added to the court record. Apparently it arrived home from Paris on the 30th of July, the day before the murder. Indeed. She appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. All these legal terminologies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Okay. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I... What he thinks of her now is irrelevant to his mind at the time. So I'm going to jump in. Because it's irrelevant. What's the relevance to what he thinks now in comparison to what he thought then? My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Oof. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating... I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Let's continue with the trial. That probably should be stricken from the record, I think. I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone. Okay, well, you'd already put forward the motive anyway. Like, he's gonna deny it anyway. So you need other people backing up the motive. Did he know that he'd been dumped? Because he clearly, the way he was talking, he didn't seem to realise he'd been dumped. Maybe he thought they were just on a break. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is so not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Gulp. Well, did you or did you not? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Oh no, he went. What do I do? It is relevant, so I don't think there's any sensible reason for him not to answer. Because if he went, and you hide that he went, it makes it seem like he's the one who's responsible. So have him answer. I know, I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. I was there, I went. Order. Well, Mr. Butts. Dude, chill. Your Honor, chill. She wasn't home, man, so, I didn't see her. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. That's not how objections work. You object to the lawyer. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? Also, you don't call witnesses in the middle of other witness testimony. You make a point, after he's gone, to say, we're going to call this witness who's going to prove he was there. The man who found the victim's body, just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. We don't actually have any concrete evidence that he's responsible. I mean, this is literally all circumstantial. It's to do with the circumstances. He was there, he was leaving, but he could have tried to knock on the door, and because she was dead, wasn't able to answer. She wasn't able to answer, so she leaves. So. Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. We've already got a witness on the stand. That's not how witnesses... So, yeah. Right, no. Okay, we're not... This isn't a trial. Just pretend this isn't a trial. This is bad. I agree. Maybe for different reasons. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Soret to the stand. Oh, he's the guy who did it, isn't he? Mr. Soret, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is that correct? Oh, yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Soret, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. This is the lawyer's job. He would be asking a question. Witness testimony, okay. Okay, this is testimony. I don't know what that means, but alright. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. How would you know that if you couldn't go inside? I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 PM. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. What? That he went to her apartment and didn't get an answer? Because that's basically what he said, is I went. Yeah. I mean, admittedly, I'm using this because I know that he did it. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. That is something you need... If you're going to state that, you need to prove it. Because you've not got witness testimony or anything to prove that. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. This is where you need... No, you can't just present this as fact. You need to present evidence that there was a blackout in the apartment. Have the witness state it. Maybe have another witness come in and say there was a blackout. Maybe have, because Larry, you've got Larry there. Larry, was there a blackout? Do you know if the electronics were working? But the problem with that idea is, did he ring the doorbell? And that wasn't working because of the blackout. That's why no one answered. The phone that Mr. Soret used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Okay, there we go. We do have evidence of it. You should have started by saying that I've got this evidence that proves there was a blackout. Electricity to Ms. Stone's building was out from noon to 6 PM on the day of the crime. Now, Mr. Wright? Yes? Yes, Your Honor? You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Oh my goodness, we're doing a murder trial and we don't know what a cross-examination is. Oh dear. Oh dear. Alright, right. This is it. What exactly am I supposed to do? Undermine the witness's testimony because he is currently the only thing tying Larry to the, to the murder. Not to the scene. Why, you exposed the lies in testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was like... Defense lawyer doesn't think people lie on the stand. Good job. Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Not necessarily. It could be possible that Larry showed up. No. Knocked on the door. No one answered, so he left. His force of the knock opened the door slightly, which he didn't notice, and Frank saw it, comes in, sees the dead body. So it's possible that they could both be true. This is reasonable doubt, is how... No, we're not going to go into it. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. Open the court record with tab, then point out contradictions in the testimony.